Budalangi is an area in constant fear of flooding as past episodes have caused devastation and despair among the locals. And as the 2023 short rain season kicks off, the locals are apprehensive yet again, worried that the predicted El Nino rains will leave them running for their lives. Zacchaeus Mwasame with more.
Kenya experienced heavy El Nino rains in the 1990s, and its effects are still remembered today. Rivers overflowed, weak water pipes were washed away, and both domestic and wild animals were greatly affected. 4,000 animals lost their lives, while the survivors suffered from various water-related diseases. In Budalangi, an area located along the riverbanks of Nzoia and Yara rivers, flooding occurs frequently during the rainy season. Similar conditions exist in a few parts of the Mount Elgon area in Bungoma County. With weather forecasters warning that El Nino will happen anytime soon, we took a trip to these two locations. We find Sharon Akinyi, a resident of Shivanje village in Budalangi constituency. She is a mother of 4 and a victim of the 2020 floods. Like many other mothers here, Sharon is now living in this tent after her house was swept away by the flood.
Wanaitangaza inakuja, sijui nitaenda wapi na watoto. Juu nini bwanangu ana plot ingine yenye tunaweza enda tuseme tuhamie huko tujenge huko. Tuko tu hapa ndio plot yetu, hakuna mahali pengine penye tunaweza enda. Kwangu kwenyewe penye nilikuwa ikianza tu hivi hata before ihamishe huko watu, mimi nakwanga nishahama.
Zamani nilipokuwa ikifurika tulikuwa kule ndani. Tulikuwa inafurikanga watu tunahama tunaenda kwa maboma ya wenyewe, kama wengine naenda ng'ambo, wengine naenda kama Budalangi kwa ajili ya maji. Inapopunguka tunarudi. Inapofurika inabomoa kingo ile ambao wamepitishia hii. Na watu tunabaki tukiathirika na mifugo zetu na watoto wetu. Maboma zetu nyumba zinaanguka.
A few meters away from her, the same situation is observed with Irene Auma, another mother of 4.
Mafuriko ya 2020 ikatuvamia, maji ilikuja ikatuvamia. Baada ya hapo tukatoka tukaenda kwa kampu huko Mundere. Penye tulitoka hapo tukitoka Mundere tukakuja Red Cross wakatuletea msaada ya kapera, tukaamua tujenge hizi hema.
70-year-old Samuel Juma Magoba has witnessed every season of flooding here and now wants the government to strengthen existing dikes as a precautionary measure.
Hii yote ilikuwa maboma ya watu. Hii mnayoona. Haya yote kufikia huku, ile ndio boma yetu. Sio boma yangu, ni ile boma ya mzee wangu. Watu tulikuwa tunaishi Msikilianga. Hiyo boma mnaona hii migomba hiyo, kwa boma yetu. Hii mnaona miti yote hii, mashamba ya watu. Sasa hizi tena tunahofia second El Nino ikitokea. Tuna wasiwasi zile area hii dike mahali still iko low. Huenda tena iko low.
2003, 2006, 2008, alafu na 2001 imekuwa mwisho mara 5. Mimi mkazi wa Igigo imeniathiri, mpoteza mifugo, nyumba pia zinaanguka, unaona, alafu kule pia kwa shida tu.
Villages like Igingo, Mumbira, Sizoke and Rwambwa have hundreds of flood victims who are currently living in fear. These buildings once hosted what was Musoma Secondary School here in Budalangi constituency. But due to previous flooding, the Ministry of Education and parents opted to evacuate students to a place they feel is safer, thanks to flooding. But how is the county government of Busia prepared for an eventuality?
The flooding menace that is caused by River Nzoia in Budalangi. But of course there's also those long-term effects that the government has been discussing about damming Nzoia all the way from Charangani, coming down all this way, from Lukuyani, Lugari areas, coming down this way. Because you must realize that there has been a lot of human activities up that way that has carried a lot of siltation. And that means that if you look at the delta area, that silt has raised up. So then what happens is that the water flows back. It doesn't flow as much. So it is just those kind of things we need to do, and of course also desilting regularly so that the water doesn't flow back because of the siltation thing, which changes the gradient of the water. Those are the long-term things, because those plans have been there from the 60s.
We also visited Chesio and Kapkrongo villages in Mount Elgon region of Bungoma County, where 5 people lost their lives due to landslides in 2016. Although the upcoming El Nino is causing anxiety, we wanted to know how the community is protecting itself.
Na tujui Saragari wakati wanasema tuame, sijui wanasema tuame wapi, kwa sababu uweze hamia boma ya mtu bila msaada na umetoka kwako. Nyumba ile utahama kuenda ni wapi? Tungeomba Saragari wakati wanaambia watu wahame, watenge pesa fulani na wahamishe watu waende mahali fulani na wachengea kama ni mahema, kama ni miezi 3 mpaka mvua ipunguke. Lakini kusema tu hama, mtu unahama wapi?
Kitu tarehe 4/5 mwezi wa 5 2020 udongo ilianza kukatika tu na kutaramuka tu, inakata kalea na inataramuka kwa mto. Hata miti mingi nilikuwa nimepanda sehemu za mtoni, na pia ilikuwa nakatika na inasonga tu mpaka ikanifikia kwa boma. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio namna ilikuwa inafanya, inakatika, inazingi chini na inasonga, inakuwa kama uji tu, ndio ikakuja ikaniadhiri kwa boma. Kwa hivyo nilipoteza vitu vingi, kahawa.
We're coming up with a drill. We want to engage ourselves in emergency drills where we get to know which sector is still not well prepared, or which department or which team of rescue, the rescue team is not prepared. That is one of the things that we are still engaging ourselves into doing, and at some point it entails training. It entails putting people on some emergency drills that are impromptu, and that is what we are engaging in. I wouldn't want to mention the exact day we are doing this, because it's supposed to come in as impromptu, so that then we are able to know which team is ready, which one is not ready.
We have mapped them out where we can mitigate, and what measures that are required to mitigate we have put in place. We also have prepared areas that we can move people to higher grounds, and as we move them to higher grounds, food situation, basic amenities that you use, what happens to those children, because you must be aware that it is also examination season, so we have to put measures in place to make sure that those children who are going to be doing exams, there are alternative centers for them, and food, and the other major thing that comes with El Nino, especially in our area here, is the waterborne diseases.
According to WHO statistics, over 2,000 people died in Somalia due to El Nino, leaving 250,000 homeless. Other African countries, including Kenya, also suffered significant loss of livestock, crops and infrastructure damage. The Kenya Red Cross reported that an estimated 800,000 people were affected by the El Nino rains in Kenya in 1997 and 1998. This includes those who were displaced, suffered property damage, or faced other consequences of heavy rainfall and flooding.
Water is friendly when it's calm like this one, but it sometimes turns tragic and destructive. Residents of Kapkrongo here in Mount Elgon are growing fears as the much anticipated El Nino rains move closer. Zakis Mwasame, NTV, Mount Elgon.